English shorthand, speed 100 words per minute. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, I think the Constitution Amendment Bill is wholly unconstitutional and if passed, it will undoubtedly be set aside by the Supreme Court because it interferes with a basic feature of the Constitution. Such amendments of the Constitution are outside the jurisdiction of this House. The amendment process prescribed by the Constitution requires two-thirds majority and so on and so forth. That applies only to those amendments of the Constitution which do not touch the basic features of the Constitution as understood in the Keswananda Bharati case. This constitutional amendment certainly interferes with a basic feature of the Indian Constitution and it will not be sustained ever. But if it is said that even if you pass it, it will not be brought into force until a reference is made to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court answers the question of the validity of this Constitution amendment in the affirmative. Sir, I must declare today that my conscience, understanding and my duty towards the people of this country do not permit me to submit to this kind of legislation. Both the bills, according to me, are evil. The evil, first of all, consists in the misleading statement of objects and reasons. You ought to have said with complete honesty that what you are trying to demolish is the Collegium system. Some of the persons who have spoken on the assumption that that is the purpose of this particular piece of legislation. Sir, the first point that I propose to make is that the 1993 judgment of 9 judges is a judgment based upon the discovery of the basic feature of the Constitution and upon devising a system to sustain that basic feature. I have myself appeared in that legislation and in a sense I claim to be the founder of the Collegium system, but that does not mean that I am an unmixed admirer of the Collegium system. The Collegium system has some faults, but the Collegium system came into existence on the basis of one main argument. That one main argument that we advance is that there is one article of the Constitution, Article 50 of the Constitution, which says that the government shall strive to keep the judiciary separate from the executive. Sir, we argued before the Supreme Court that this article does not mean that judges and ministers should not socially meet. This does not mean that they should live in separate towns or that they should not live even in adjoining bungalows. The purpose of this article is to ensure that in the appointment of judges, the executive has no role to play except the advisory role. But after some time, there were pupil intellectuals who spoke upon that this system would not work. The system requires change. Sir, the Indian democracy has been saved not by intellectuals. Indian democracy at its most crucial hour has been saved by the poor illiterates of this country. This is the tragedy of our country. Sir, the intellectuals of this country have continuously failed, and I regret to say that they are failing even today, when ultimately the realization dawned on the bar of this country. It is the bar of this country which went to the Supreme Court and said that the present system must go. The present system is a system in which the executive has the greatest influence in the appointment process. It has the primacy as per the 1981 judgment. Later, the 9 judges said they heard arguments that the judiciary under no circumstances depends for its appointment on the will and the prerogative and the primacy of the executive. The Supreme Court overruled the original judgment of 1981. Sir, whatever be the faults of the collegium today represents some system which is consistent with the basic features of the Constitution, namely the supremacy of the judiciary and its freedom from any influence of the executive in the appointment process. Sir, the Constitution cannot survive human freedom, cannot survive citizens' human rights, cannot survive. No development can take place unless the judges are independent of the executive power. Sir, first of all, let me say that the whole judgment of 9 judges is based upon this principle that in the appointment process the executive can never have primacy. It has now become the basic feature of India's constitution. My grievance today against this bill is that you are slowly creating a new method by which ultimately you will revert to the system which existed prior to 1993. The Constitution Amendment looks very innocent. All that it says is that we shall have a new Article 124A in the Constitution, and it merely says that there shall be a judicial appointment commission. It lays down that the judicial appointment commission will have these functions. It leaves at that. After the first sentence, everything is left to a parliamentary will which is capable of being removed if the ruling party has just one member majority in both houses of parliament.